what's up? So I finally got an Exway Riot kit. I've got the hub motors right here because I've been spending a lot of time testing the two different motors. So I've been asked a lot to test the Riot kit, and it took me a while to get my hands on that, and I apologize for that, but it is what it is, and FedEx even lost the first one that they sent me. So it's taken me a little bit longer to get to this than I had initially planned. But there are 4 things that I focused on when comparing the hub and the Riot motor. The things I focused on were comfort, sound, torque, and braking. I feel like those are kind of like the 4 main, I don't know, pillars for like any electric skateboard. Let's talk about sound first. That seems to be the one that everybody kind of like is more curious about. I took some clips with the skateboard on my table, and I'll insert all of that. When inside and the skateboard flipped over and just running the motors, the hub kit is way, way quieter. Now, when you're actually outside riding it, the belts are not that much louder. Obviously, if you're looking for something that's super stealth, then, you know, hubs are going to be the way to go. Now, as far as comfort goes, I really was skeptical on if I would really even be able to tell that much of a difference. I'm a big fan of a Riot kit anyways, just because I like the flexibility of having different options with different wheels, and that's just sort of a personal preference. But you know, as I get bored with something or want to try something, I just want to have the option to try different wheels. But now, with Cloud wheels coming out with a Cloud Donut and some different things like that, there's becoming more and more options for hub motors. So while I will say it is subtle, it was noticeable that the Riot kit was more comfortable. I mean, when you think about it, you have this tiny sleeve on here, which is, you know, I don't know, like however many millimeters thick versus an entire wheel to absorb the bumps. I did a mix of riding on like rough terrain and pretty smooth roads. We've got some new paved roads in my neighborhood that are like, they're like butter to ride on. It's awesome. Even on the rougher stuff, that's, you know, that's where I noticed a big difference. Smoother stuff, it was still noticeable, like just noticing the cracks in the sidewalk. Now, I had someone specifically ask what's louder when you're riding on a sidewalk, and I actually think in a way the hub motor is louder when you're hitting all those bumps. And I say that, you know, you're thinking the hub motor, but when you're riding, I don't know, I don't hear the motors that much, but what I do hear, probably because I'm feeling it as well, is just that click, 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 click. I can tell a difference with the Riot kit that I think it just absorbed just a bit more sound. Having a thicker wheel, again, makes sense. So if you're gonna be riding on a lot of sidewalks, you get the benefit of the Riot being a bit more comfortable. And then also I do, again, this is probably my opinion, and I think the Riot kit was more quiet on the sidewalks. So the third thing for me that was personally super noticeable, the braking. The braking on the Riot kit was like stronger or more noticeable. So I wasn't really thinking. I go out on my first test ride. I didn't have the camera going, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it. But as soon as I hit the brake the first time, I had to do a nice little run off the board. And that's okay, I wouldn't go super fast. You guys know me. I'm not a speed demon, especially on a short board. But I could tell a difference in the braking on the Riot kit. It is gonna be stronger. I feel like you need to be a little bit more ready for it. I don't think it's a thing you have to be like a super experienced rider to handle it or anything like that. I mean, all of Exway boards are very user-friendly. Doesn't really matter which one you get as far as if you've ridden something before or not. If you are gonna get a Riot kit, definitely just be ready for how it breaks. It's just a little bit more. You're gonna come to a stop a little bit sooner than on the hub kit, in my opinion, or I at least did. And also, keep in mind, Exway has the app and you can fully customize these settings and, you know, make it what you want. I kind of like to just go with the general standard settings, how it comes, and just cruise, and that's just my style of riding. So the last thing I want to talk about is torque. Obviously, I would just say, I mean, like, yeah, the Riot kit had more torque, but not so much that I had to be like super ready for taking off. No more than usual, nothing really that much more than like a hub kit. Now, the braking, again, that one caught me off guard, and the torque, Exway boards aren't known for having a lot of torque anyways. That's something that's a big complaint for some people. Yes, there's some torque there, but not as much as other boards and board manufacturers out there. Exway has commented on this before, saying that they value safety of the riders more than having a board with a lot of torque. And again, for me as a casual rider, I'm perfectly fine with that. But if you want the most torque, then going with a Riot kit's going to be probably the way to go. As far as having both drivetrains and swapping them, it took me about 20 minutes to put it on for the first time. And honestly, I'm a little bit embarrassed about that, but kind of working around in there, and my hands are small, it just seemed like it's a little tight. It's not going to be something that you're just going to plug and play in, under 5 minutes, at least in my opinion. Even as I get better at it, of course, I'll get faster, but the screws are small. The metal was kind of soft on them, so I was trying to be careful not to strip anything. And if you're switching out a lot and you're keeping that in mind and just trying to take care of your board, it's not going to be a super quick change. 20 minutes, again, that was my first time doing it. It was like 19 and some, 19 and a half minutes, like say, I'm just saying 20. I did time it because I was curious about how long it would take me. So if you're wondering, that's about how long it took. If you guys have any other questions just about the two, like I say, those were kind of like the 4 things I was focused on, but drop a comment below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you're still watching at this point and you're thinking about getting an Exway board, they do have a coupon code. It does help my tiny little channel. It's LIZZ, all caps, and it's case sensitive. And if you guys use my code, definitely let me know so I can say thank you. So hopefully this helped answer your questions. I'm biased. It's really, really difficult for me not to be biased and just say like, yeah, I love the Riot kit. But honestly, the hubs are really not that bad. I have another board that was my first board, and it was hubs, and I don't know, it kind of left a bad impression on me, but a lot of that was my choices and my mistake there. But so if you're thinking that, again, you need something that's going to be stealth, quiet, a little bit cheaper, and you want to go with the hubs, it's not going to be a bad decision. But if it were me, I would advise you to go with a Riot kit just so that you can at least have just unlimited wheel options. Hopefully that was helpful, and as always, thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.